What's going on, YouTube Gardening? It's your boy Sydney and
Tori.
from the Naked Gardener channel. We've been gone for Georgia, out in Georgia for about 3 to 4 weeks now. I originally was supposed to be on there for about a week, and it just got delayed and delayed and delayed. And so now we're finally back here in Texas looking at our garden that's been unoccupied, unattended,
Abandoned.
and it's still somewhat thriving. We're going to show you some of the things that we noticed while we've been going away and see what we can fix and show you a little bit of things that we're going to tend up later on during the season to kind of get the backyard
And some
going.
nice surprises that we found.
Yeah, so let's get going. We're here at the front entrance of our garden here, and this was our squash that we're kind of upset about. This was the zucchino rapicante. Kind of happy that a lot of it has kind of died down now. We're going to wind up doing is we're going to clean up a lot of all the bad stuff that's in this garden. Not this weekend, but the following weekend. We'll probably take you a tour about that. But this was a very prolific squash that we had. We're definitely going to be growing this again next year.
Didn't we discover we like it best in soups?
Yeah, it's very tender and almost a flavor and texture of a zucchini. So we're going to tear all of this down. We got some beans here that have hardened off, and we're going to be harvesting little bit of these to save these for next year, because these towards the end of the summer started doing very well. So we're definitely going to try that and get our timing a little bit better on this. One of the biggest things I'm kind of upset about is a lot of our brassicas has been look like they've been chewed up on by some type of rodent or pest, and we could eliminate some of that while having Sage the cat out here. But since we were gone from 3 to 4 weeks, Sage was not able to come outside to kind of protect our garden. So we've noticed some stuff of our kale, our that's been, you can see some of the leaves chewed up on. We saw some of our cauliflower where the head or the middle portion of it was chewed up on. We got even some of our Brussels sprouts, and I believe our cauliflower, some of those tops has been chewed up on. There's a lot of our leaves throughout here. You could just see real good chew marks on, like they just been having a smorgasbord out here. So we're going to probably pull some of these up, even though we don't need to. But we're going to kind of undensify a lot of this stuff out here this coming up weekend. We're going to take you along with that as well. Here is another devastating fact about being gone. We forgot to tell our niece towards the end to feed our worm bin. And as I came back, I noticed that none of the worms were in here anymore. I guess they've been starving. So we don't have any more worms in here. I could just use this bin as a compost bin. However, it is a little bit anaerobic, so I will have to add a little bit of either some leaves, crushed up leaves, or some peat moss in here to kind of add the fuel to the compost breakdown and whatnot.
Do you think that the worms at least got into our bed? Because we have.
Oh yeah, they're probably somewhere all throughout here. I'm just kind of upset that they're no longer in here. I did notice the worms that we had indoors, because I fed those heavily before I left. There's a lot of worms in there, and so I'm going to possibly do a video of me dividing those worms up and putting some in here. I probably put about 5 pounds or maybe 2 pounds of worms from that bin into this bin, and see how they multiply and do some cocoons from being in here for about 90 days.
When you're away from your garden that long and you don't know how much water it's received, you just expect to come back and see everything dead. Now, one of the things I wanted to see dead when I came back was our loofahs. I wanted to see them all dried out. So it's it's ugly to see it, and you'll be able to kind of like see like how dead it all looks. It looks very sad, but I am ready to harvest quite a few of my loofahs, and they are already turning yellow. You should never harvest these while they are a dark green color from everything that I learned about them. If you ever have to cut them down a little earlier, you want to wait till they're like a yellow color, like those ones in the back. But this one is fully ready, and I noticed another one over here that is all the way ready, and this one has already got a little split on it, and you're able to already start to see it. So I'm very excited because Sid just started making some soaps, and this is just going to be a fun project for us. We're just kind of experimenting with it. So, I mean, that's exciting to come home to.
Now, in this bed, I was kind of surprised that we have these lady fingers that are doing pretty well. And especially with it being shaded out with the red giant mustard. And I had to cut back a little bit of this artichoke plant leaves because it was just basically all sprouted out. But this is our first time successfully growing these, and I wish I would have saw these earlier when we made a soup dish, because this would have been very good to go into one of the soups that we made, or even one of the tatsoi greens that we're growing as well. That would have been probably would have been real good to grow with and put it into the soup. Another thing I'm excited about this bed is we have a lot of collard greens in this bed, and they're going very well. Friday, when we had a nice little cool weather, they were very, very hardy, and we should have harvested some then. Now that we're in about the upper 60s, you could tell they're very kind of rubbery. So we'll probably wait till another frost before we harvest some of these, along with some of our kale, before we use them, give it a nice good flavor to it. Some of these have, you could tell there was some type of frost damage around here because of the discoloration of the leaves. Here we have our tatsoi. It's just been very just on its own without hardly any water. I think we had a few rain around here.
It rained like twice in the 3 weeks.
Yeah, and we haven't been able to do any fertilization of it. The parsley's been doing very well. The cilantro has been doing very well. So these are some easy plants that you can grow in containers if you're very new to garden, that you don't have to worry about messing up on.
And that tatsoi, I mean, it is so versatile. It almost was like a spinach. You thought I had cooked some spinach when I did that with some eggs a few weeks ago.
Now, the good thing about these tatsoi is it's supposed to have a lot of vitamin C and potassium in it, more than what milk normally has. So this is a good supplement for those that don't drink milk.
Like us.
Yeah. So this is a good supplement to get those nice vitamins in.
Something that I am kind of sad about is the curry tree that I have. It's looking really sad. When we came back, it was knocked over. There's a lot of dirt on the ground here that came out of it. I'm fascinated that it wasn't dead, especially with the frost that came through. I think here in the next few days, I'm gonna harvest these leaves, dry them, make a spice, and I will try to show you guys my process on that and how I'm going to turn this into a curry spice for us to use in the kitchen. The most exciting surprise that we came home to is our improved Meyer lemon tree. I am just so, I mean, it's just weighed down with this fruit that is ready for us to harvest. There's no green. I'm not seeing any green on it, and I was a little perplexed initially on what should I do with it to harvest and preserve it, and I feel like I want to make a lemon pepper seasoning, something that we'll use in the kitchen, and I think I'm probably going to do a video on how I'm going to use every part of this to preserve for future use.
So this is something we started about a few weeks before I was heading back to Georgia. And we have some fennel here that's starting to thrive very well. And the reason why we kind of grew this is kind of for the swallowtail and the butterfly harvest, one of their host plant that they feed off of. We got some Greek oregano that's slowly taking off, and all of these have been doing very well without any of our attention. We have some extra dill that we didn't know what to plant, where to plant it at, and I'll probably plant it over here. Some regular thyme. This is some peppermint, and you want to kind of grow your peppermint in a container area because they're very quite invasive. And as you can see, they're taking off. Got a nice smell to them. We did a video on how to propagate a lot of these. We'll put the information down below. It's very easy to propagate. Then we got some more dill and fennel. The fennel didn't do too well, so we'll take that out. We got some, look like some regular weeds. All right, so over here, we were supposed to be growing Mrs. Naked Gardener tea garden, where she has a lot of stuff for her teas and her other herbs and stuff that she could be growing and using as some type of medicinal type purpose. But we weren't able to get to it because every time it was close for us to do something over here, I got called off to do another project or to go help out or finish it.
But the biggest reason was the COVID restriction.
That too. And then, but she got these beautiful calendulas growing here, some asters, some royal carpet alyssums. Still got some bees growing around. We got sage in the window there, some chamomile. I mean, it's just amazing. I love seeing these calendulas out here, and we'll definitely be trying to grow these again for her next year wherever we're at.
This was a nice surprise seeing these.
Yeah.
We did not expect to see any alive flowers at all.
Mm-mm. And we could start harvesting some of these heads off of these chamomile and saving them for some teas or some tinctures there. Even some of these calendulas as well. These calendula heads are huge, and I'm just ready for those to even pop up. And these asters, those are going to be quite interesting.
Another exciting thing to come home to has been the walking kale. It has gotten so much taller. I really expected it to kind of be eaten up because I haven't been able to do any of our maintenance BT spray on it or anything. We made a video on the mixture we like to do for that. I'll put a little card above for it. But it's gotten nice and tall. The leaves are really nice and healthy. And while we were gone, I got an alert showing a lady coming through our alleyway and just back here staring at it, which is kind of weird. But it's like she just came through to stare at them.
Now, there was a lot of other things that was a very disappointment, and we're kind of sad to see go away, like some additional herbs and other flowers and stuff that we have been growing out through here that we didn't get the chance to harvest the seeds because the frosts have taken care of them. Is there any other things we probably missed that we
Well, on those herbs, like my basil and my moringa tree was totally like dead, and it was flowering right before we left, and I really wanted to try to harvest some seed from that, from the flowers, or at least attempt to. I haven't done that yet. If you have, comment down below and let us know if you've successfully been able to collect seeds from a moringa tree.
And we're going to be doing some other vlogs and some other getting ready for the housewarming. I wouldn't say housewarming.
The house exiting?
The house exiting and house renovation and stuff. So make sure you stay tuned to watch some of those videos. Until the next video, though, let's grow together.
Have this feeling, haven't felt for so long. Took a hold of me and won't let go. I've been sleeping, caught me off my guard, 'cause you're in my space and now